Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Oh, I've got a bit of frog in my throat. It's a very hot day, I'll blame it on that. But this puzzle, I love the sort of conceit behind this one. It's called 6 Rules, 4 Clues, and it's by 99% Sneaky. And I mean, the title just describes it all. There are only 6 rules in the puzzle. You can see there are only sort of 4 clues. They're discreetly placed in the grid. And this is just absolutely loved. One of the comments on Logic Masters Germany said something like 99% absolutely beautiful. So this is meant to be wonderful. 3 stars out of 5. So just sort of average difficulty in theory at least. We'll see how difficult we find it. We've got a night's move constraint going on today, and I will explain the rules properly in a moment or two's time. Although I think other than the knight's move, everything else is probably, if you've been watching Cracking the Cryptic for a while, you will be surprised by nothing. Now, other news. What other things am I meant to mention before we kick off? Because we passed 600,000 subscribers on YouTube, there is a free pack available now. Get over to Patreon, download it for free. It contains puzzles by some of the great and the good of the Sudoku community to celebrate something really quite bizarre. That is that this strange little channel, this strange corner of the internet, where every day for years and years and years, Mark and I have solved a puzzle, has become popular enough to garner 600,000 followers on YouTube. It really is amazing. So anyway, just to say thank you to you all, there is a free pack available. Check the links under the video. Also on Patreon, but this time behind the paywall, is our competition for July, which is Paws Sudoku Hunt, 6x6 in the main. Lots and lots of lovely puzzles, and that's been expressly designed to be quite approachable this month. Obviously, with it being a holiday month, that's no bad thing. Lots and lots of you managing to solve a whole Sudoku hunt for the first time, so do check that out if you've not had a chance to have a look at it. Other than that, there was something else I was meant to tell you about. Oh, I can't remember what it was. I've got a birthday, although am I late with this one? I'm not even sure now. I fear I may be. I may be a day late and $1 short. But Martin, have you either turned 37 today or yesterday or the day before yesterday, very, very recently? And do you have a co-worker and friend called Frederick? Because if those two things are true, then this message is for you. And Frederick wrote to us and wanted to thank you basically for all the years of game development that the two of you have shared together. He clearly thinks an awful lot of you. So Martin, many happy returns. Frederick and I hope that you have a chocolate cake of just supreme quality, which of course will mean that it has an enormous amount of icing on it. Happy birthday, Martin. And because I can't remember what the other thing was, let's just have a look at 99% Sneaky's puzzle. 6 rules, 4 clues. These are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Digits along a thermometer must increase from the bulb end. So that doesn't mean they have to increase in steps of 1. So if this was actually, how long is that thermometer? It's length 6, so that could be a 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be a legitimate way of filling the thermometer. And then you can see it sort of branches there, so that would have to be an 8 or a 9 as well. So it would have to be bigger than 7. Maverick is about to fly past my window. I'm so sorry. We're about to get some aeroplane noise. It's taken Maverick 4 minutes today to interrupt the video. Absolutely extraordinary, but there we are. Anyway, the next rule. Digits along arrows sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. So those 3 digits, you add them up and you put the result in that square. And that's going to be the same as the sum of those 2 and the same as the sum of these 2. The digits in the cage sum to the small number printed in the corner. So these 4 digits sum to 30. Now, yeah, I was wondering whether we could repeat a digit, but we can't. It says digits may not repeat in the cage, so that's interesting. Along the blue line, thick box borders divide the line into segments with equal sums. When the line re-enters a box, a new segment is formed. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So this is sometimes called a region sum line. So let's you can see what I'm doing is I'm using the box borders to divide the line into parcels, like so. And each one of those colours there sums to the same number. And yeah, there's a lot of things that we could deduce fairly instantly from that, but that is what's going on. I almost don't want to do an example of that in case I happen on the right answer, which is possible because there are only a few right answers to that, I think. But anyway, that is how blue lines work. And then there's one more rule, which is that cells separated by a knight's move in chess may not contain the same digit. So whatever this square contains in the centre, a chess knight's move from that position would take us into those purple cells. And none of these purple cells could contain this digit, because if let's say they were both ones. If they were both ones, then obviously these are knight's move apart, and that breaks the rules of the puzzle. And we'll get the puzzle wrong, and that is not the idea. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now let's start here. A 30 cage. If we can't repeat a digit, that must be 6, 7, 8, 9, mustn't it? This circle, because we're summing at least 3 different numbers. Imagine these were 1, 2, and 3. They would add up to 6. So this square is also quite high. Right. So nearly. So what I was just thinking there is, where does this digit go? It must make an appearance in the 30 cage, but let's just give that a colour quickly. That digit cannot be in these 2 squares because of the knight's move constraint. So one of those digits is orange. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with high digits, in fact, because of the length of the thermo and because of the structure of this blue line. Yeah, I mean, let's do this slowly, but if this digit's a 1, which is obviously the least it could be, what's the minimum value of this? Well, if this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is at least 6, isn't it? And if we just come down here for a moment and think about this line, this digit is the sum of these 3 digits. So it's a slightly like an arrow relationship. If these digits were minimized at 1, 2, and 3, this would still equal 6. So it's at least 6. So actually, in box 5, we've got the 4 digits that appear in the 30 cage. You're right. Okay, I'm going to start with this one then, because that digit is also not in these 2 squares, is it? And we know that one isn't in those 2 squares. So these 2 squares are an orange-green pair. And now that digit, I'll make that one purple. That's not that digit, so that's that one, because it's clearly not orange or green. And then that digit gets its own colour, which we shall, of course, make blue. There we are. We've done some colouring. I'm not sure how useful it is, but we've done some. Okay, let's return to the region sum line, where we know that this digit, because the line always, all the line segments in different boxes always sum to the same amount, we know that square is green. So that's also 6, 7, 8, or 9. These are the same digit. Now, wow, that would be huge. Imagine one of these 2 squares on the thermometer was green. That would put an awful lot of pressure on both green and purple. Hang on a minute. Well, maybe I have to just keep doing this. I mean, purple by Sudoku is in one of those squares. Where is green in box 8? Not there and not there because of the knight's move, and not there by Sudoku because green is in one of these squares. Yes, sorry, that's obvious, isn't it? So, oh, this is lovely. So green is here, but green can't be a knight's move away from itself. So these 2 are not both green. So that one must be orange. That's very nice. So there we go. We've got lots of green in the puzzle. Blackadder would be very proud of us. Now, can we keep going with that? So there's green up there. We have discovered green, my lord. Green is in one of those. I mean, I might as well pencil mark this. Now, what about, okay, what, oh, yeah. What about orange in this box? That's very powerful, because this orange wipes out those. This orange wipes out these by Sudoku, but these by Knight's Move. So that is orange, because orange is definitely different from purple. So now orange is also in one of these 3 squares, look. And almost wherever it is, there's something interesting happening, because if orange is not here, then this is an orange-pink pair, or orange-purple pair, and green would be up here, and green would be exactly there. But if orange is here, then there's a 2-cell segment including at least a 6, which would push green up. Oh, so that's weird. So it has the opposite effect. So either if orange is there, green is high, and if orange is not there and it's in one of these, green is low because it's pushed down on the thermo compared to purple. I don't know what that means, but it seems to be something that's true. No. Yes, okay, where is orange in this column? Now, orange can't go on an arrow that adds up to orange, because that would require by maths this to be a 0, and that's not a Sudoku digit. So orange doesn't go here. Orange doesn't go there by Knight's Move, so orange goes right up at the top of the grid. And now orange is in one of those 2 squares, just obeying the Knight's Move restriction. But I don't think orange can't go there or there. Actually, here's a thought. 6, 7. Yes, okay. Maybe actually I should just pay quick attention to this thermometer, because what I was wondering about was whether either of these could be orange, but they definitely can't. The thermometer doesn't work like that. It's too long, and we could, because this has 4 different options, we could sort of step down the thermometer. What we're going to find is that each of these squares has 4 different options. So this square here can't be greater than 4, because if it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's not going to work. So this is one of the small digits, and then we're stepping up each time because that's the nature of a thermo. But what I'm noticing here is if we study these 2 digits, there's no way, well, no, I mean there's no way, there's no correspondence at all between these digits and these 4 digits. So now I want to go back and ask where orange goes in box 1, because it's not on the thermo, and by Sudoku it's not in row 1. Now, it's actually also not here, because if this was orange, you couldn't put orange at all in box 4, because of the Knight's Move constraint. So orange is... it's near... oh, well, actually, orange can't go there either, because if orange is there, this square here, it would wipe orange out of that position and that position due to the Knight's Move. So orange, I think, is in one of those 2, which is nearly good, but it's not. I don't think it's quite good enough, unfortunately, which is most distressing. Okay, so we nearly were able to do something, but then we couldn't. Okay, but what? No, forget all that. Okay, forget about the interesting thing I was trying to think about orange in box 1. And let's return now to thinking about orange in box 4, because this is exactly what I was interested in. If this square now can't be orange, because if this is orange, you can't put orange in box 1 anymore because of the Knight's Move constraint. So, that means that this is not orange, and that means that these 2 squares are now a purple-orange pair, which means this is not green. So green moves up here. This loses its flash. Green is now, bobbins. So, well, green is early enough on the thermometer that it's not 8 or 9. So green is now 6 or 7. But I don't think I know where it goes. Okay, but doesn't that push up purple? Because even if this was green and green was as little as it can be, which would be 6, then this would be 7 and this would be 8. So purple is at least 8. And obviously if this is green, then purple is 9. Right, so as green is now very small, these 3 digits which sum to green are either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. They definitely include 1 and 2. These squares are, well, one of them is, we don't know, do we? I've not done anything with blue yet either. I've not managed to do anything clever in that regard. This is 6 or 7. I'm not sure. There might be something I can do here. I'm just not quite seeing it, am I? I'm going to fill these squares in with 6, 7, 8 or 9 just to try and crystallize that thought in my brain. I mean, yes, yeah, okay. Right, this is the digit we need to think about now. And that might seem a strange digit to think about, but I don't think it is. Because where is that digit in this box? Now, it's not in those squares by Sudoku. It's not in these squares by Knight's Move Sudoku. It's definitely not. It's not capable of being equal to 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. So that little digit goes exactly there. And that means it's not green. So that one's become green. That's actually probably not the one we wanted to be green. But anyway, that now becomes green. So, oh, look. So green goes there in row 5 because this one knocks these 2 out because of the Knight's Move constraint. So that's not green. So green is now in one of 2 places. Oh, look, no, this is all going to resolve. This is a beautiful puzzle, by the way. Green, green. Where does green go in column 1? And the answer is there, right in the corner. It's not 3, but I feel like singing about it. That's not green now. Green is now on an arrow here, adding up to orange. This is, oh, this is great, because now this is green, which means it's not orange. That's become orange. That's not orange. Now this is just flowing. This is now not orange. This is now orange. Let's click on orange, put 6, 7, 8, 9 into that. Click on that, put 6 or 7. So orange is now bigger than green. So orange is not 6 or, well, if that's 6 and that's 1, orange could be 7. So, but, okay. Okay, so we can double click orange and take 6 out of it. This digit can't be greater than 3, so that's quite a modest digit. And, right. I've seen one other thing. Which I might be... Okay, well, if that's 6 or 7, that's bigger. So that is now 7 or 8. So that needs to be... That's blue. That's bizarre, because that's not the thing I'd seen. But I was going to announce to you that that was blue. But if that's blue, that's putting immense pressure on the world. I might be wrong about this deduction being blue. But I think this has to be blue. Because it's bigger than 6 or 7, and it's not purple, it's not orange, and it's not green because of the Knight's Move, so it must be blue. And now, okay, so now, okay, this is blue, which you can now see is true by Sudoku because this square can't be blue by Knight's Move. But the reason actually I got that this was blue was I'd noticed that these squares in box 5 are all the low digits. Now, this cross of digits here, let me just redify it for a moment. Oh, it's a horrible colour. No. I'll greyify it. Now, these digits here, we can ask a question, can't we, about these 2 squares? Is it possible that either of these 2 squares is any of the grey digits? And the answer is no, because of the Knight's Move. So let's try and make this one of the grey digits. Well, how could that work? Because this digit, this whatever it is, rules itself out of these and these by the knight's move. So this has to be a colour. It has to be one of these squares. And which one can it be? Well, it's already seeing 3 in its own box, so the only one it could be is blue. That's what I noticed before. Now, if blue... Now, blue can't be 9, which we now know. So this now can't be 7, because this is the sum of blue and at least a 1. This, in fact, must be a 1 or a 2. And now I've got an 8-9 pair here, which means that this square means that blue is 7 by dint of logic, which means that green is 6. And then we can just go, look how many digits I just got. Which means that, oh, hang on, I was trying to take 7s out of all of those orange squares. Orange is in one of these 2 squares by Sudoku. Oh, orange, no, we can do this. Orange is right at the bottom, which means it's right exactly there. We've got all our oranges placed. All your orange belong to us. We can... I don't know what we can do now. Oh, yeah, I do. Look. If green is 6, these must be a 1, 2, 3 triple. It's the only way of making 3 different digits add up to 6. But that digit went there, so that's got to be a 3. Oh, this is just beautiful. It's so smooth, isn't it? If that's a 3 and it's the 3rd cell on its thermometer, we can do 2 and 1. This square's bigger than 6, so that's 7, 8 or 9, but it's not orange. And it's not purple, so it's got to be blue, I think. Seems logical. So blue is in one of those squares. That's still got all the options, hasn't it? Because green's become low, or so low, I suppose we should say. Right. So these 2 squares add up to 6. And the way I'm seeing that is I know this domino adds up to 6. So these 2 squares are from 1, 2 and 4, 5. Because it's either a 2, 4 pair or a 1, 5 pair. And whatever's not on here will go in these 2 squares and add up to 6. Which means that as these squares add up to 6, this square must be a 1 or a 2. And this square must be a 4 or a 5 because of Sudoku. Now I've got a 1, 2 pair in column thingy thing, which is the technical term for column 3. And now I need to put 3, 4 and 5 into, so that's 4 or 5. That's 3, 4 or 5. Where's the other digit? That's purple, isn't it? So purple is not 7. Purple is in one of those squares. Oh, it's nearly good. So purple, oh, we can't put, oh, hang on, you can't put purple on a 3-cell arrow. Purple's an 8 or a 9, so it's not going on this arrow. So I can place purple, sorry, I should have seen that instantly. I can place purple in box 2, which means I can place purple in box 1. Whoopsie, I was trying to place purple and failing. I lost my army. So one of those 2 is purple. Now, can we keep that going? Oh, nearly. Purple's in one of those 2 squares. Purple's in one of these 3 squares. That's not quite doing it, is and purple's in one of those 3 squares, and that's not going to be useful at all. Bobbins is what we say at this juncture. Okay, alright, if that's 3, 4 or 5, then that's 3, 4 or 5, isn't it? But that's not 3, because there's already a 3 in this column, so that's 4 or... oh yeah, that makes sense, okay. I'm wondering whether we're meant to colour 1s and 2s and 4s and 5s now, because I can obviously differentiate between these 1s and 2s now, due to the relationship with box 4. I think I'll hold off on that. I'm going to get rid of my grey cells there. That's not a 3 actually though, is it? Because of this. I've got a very colourful grid, but I don't know what to do. These squares, oh well look, these two squares add up to 6, so they're either 1, 5 or 2, 4, but the low digit's going to have to go low. It's going to have to be in this position because of this 1, 2 pair. So I'm just wondering, so it could be that I don't know much about blue. Actually, I know one of those is blue. I know one of these is blue. I just don't quite think this is enough, is it? It feels like blue in this box ought to be restricted, but I think it's still got 3 possibilities, which is sad. Okay, so if it's not thinking about blue, what is it? That digit, yeah, I see. Okay, so I had to repeat the logic that I saw with this one, but I didn't then repeat it here. Because this digit, again, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. It's not 6, it's not purple, and it's not orange. So it must be the other high digit, which is 7, which at least is getting me another, well, another couple of... it's actually doing a bit more. Look, it's doing a bit more. We get a few more things pointing around the grid. We get a 7 in one of these two. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. But we don't know which one. That's no longer blue. So blue is 2, 3. Blue, okay, so blue's a sort of X-wing that might be unresolved at the moment in these squares. And I don't know what that's doing, but it might be doing something. That square is not a 2 by this digit here. Ah. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right, this is a 2. Because it must be consecutive with this. Yeah, I mean, if we look at the structure, this number, whatever it is, its difference to 6 is 1 more than its difference to 7. So these two digits ought to be consecutive. So this can't be a 1, because that's going to go with a 3 and break mathematics. So this must be a 2, and this must be a 3. That's weird. That's weird, but it seems to be true. So right. So now we've worked out somehow that orange is 9. Oh, that's not going to work quite as well, but we can fill in 8s into purple. This square is not a 2. That square is not a 2 by Knight's move. 3 comes out of this square by Knight's move. So 3 is in one of those. Okay, so what? It must be this column, is it? 1, 4 and 5. Ooh. Okay, so this is 4 or 5. There is a 1 down at the bottom in one of these squares. Or is it the 9 arrow? So the 9 arrow doesn't include a 6, so it's not 1, 2, 6. So it's yes. So it's either 1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4. That's the only other 2 ways of making 9 in 3 cells. Now there was a digit in common between those 2 options: 1, 3, 5 and 2, 3, 4. So where does the 3 go? Isn't that gorgeous? So it's got to go there. That's got to be a 3. So these are all 3s. 3 is a yellow digit. 3 is not here, not here. So so I can place 3. Look, Sudoku, because of the Knight's move. This is a very, very fine puzzle in terms of the whole way it works. Is just beautiful, isn't it? Look, where does where does 3 go in box 8 now? Can't go there by Knight's move. It has to go here. And now 3 in the middle box has to go here. So I think we must be able to do all the 3s. That's a 3 by Sudoku. So we didn't get any 3s in the corner, but that doesn't matter. We still did very nicely. 1, 4, 5 here. Okay, so these two squares add up to 6 again. So they bear some relationship to something that's going on down here. They're either opposite or the same as these things, but these might be, I don't know whether these are different from each other or the same. I think I'm going to investigate that next. Let me just have a quick think about this in terms of whether there's some other way in the puzzle I'm meant to differentiate between the sort of 1-2 pairs and the 4-5 pairs. It feels like I'm not sure. 2 is quite restricted in box 2. Yeah, okay, so where is, maybe this is the point, where is 2 in column 4? And I don't know the answer, but it's definitely in one of the bottom 2 cells by Sudoku. Which actually doesn't seem to help me. Bobbins. Okay, let's try and colour 1s and 2s then. So this square here will make that red. That's got to be the same as that by Sudoku. Now, this digit now is interesting because there must be a 1 or a 2 in this domino, because this domino sums to 6, and therefore the 1 or the 2 on this domino is the same as this, and by Knight's move it's not there, so these 2 digits have become the same thing. So these 2 need their own colour. We'll use light green or grey, I don't know. I might use grey. So this digit is now a 4 or a 5. That digit's now one of those 2 squares. Ugh, I don't know whether... No, it's not actually. That digit, where does it go in box 6? And it's in one of those 2 by Sudoku, so it actually goes there. Oh, I could have seen that if I just focused on much easier things. So we've got this sort of weird pattern. So what's that one? That one's not red, because it's a knight's move away from red. So that one is grey. And no, yeah, okay, so they both go and have a journey up there. So this is grey and red in some order, which I don't think is resolved. I don't know then. What next, do you think? I don't know. Do I know what the colour of this is? Oh, no. Alright, let's abandon that thought. That's a silly thought. But we do know, actually now, because we've identified that grey appears in both this domino and this domino, adding up to 6, these 2 digits are the same, aren't they? Right, I'm going to make those light green then. Oh, hang on, why is that? Right, these are the same digit. And therefore, we worked out that this digit was the same as this digit. Right, so this digit is actually on the weird arrow at the top. And that's right, that is absolutely gorgeous, because what did we say those 2 digits added up to? 6. Well, I know that grey and green add up to 6, so I've now identified that grey appears with green on this domino. I don't know if that does anything though. So that means red is in one of these squares. Oh bother! That's very annoying. But that's green by Sudoku. Right, I'm pretty sure we're going to need a colour for this little digit. I'll make it black because I've run out of colours. That's black. So that's a black digit by Sudoku. Green is not there. Oh, this is good. Right, so green is not here by Sudoku. So green overlaps in the corner with blue. which means that these are a green-blue pair, and that is purple, and purple is 8, which means this is 8, which means this is 8, which means this is 8, and all our 8s are now resolved, which is rather nice. Came out of nowhere. So, okay. Now what? Do I know what that is? That one is... I don't know. Oh yeah, no I do. It's black because it's not green. So that digit is either there or there, but this one can't be. So this is black. This is the black digit because it can't. The black digit can't go on this arrow because we know that the green digit goes on this arrow. So that's a black digit, which means that that is the red digit, and the red digit is now 2. That's absolutely beautiful because that's basically done it then, hasn't it? Because the red digit cannot be a 1, but the red digit is a 1 or a 2, so I think the red digit is a 2, which means it's that digit, which means that digit is a 1. So grey is 1, which means green is 5 by mathematics, which means this is a 1-5 pair, which means that the black digit is a 2, sorry, a 4, wherever that occurs. That's a 5. Okay, none of these are 5 anymore. This is a 1-4 pair, apparently. Don't know where that's come from. So that's a 2. So that's a 4. We'll sort the colours out, I think, in a few minutes once we've finished the puzzle, because it does seem now, I think, to be cracking, doesn't it? Can we do the 1-4 pair here? Neither of these are 4. And what are these ones? These are, this is a 5-7 pair. There's going to be a knight's move poking. Oh, there's a 1 here. There we go. 1, 5, 5, 7. So which way round does this go? 5 is the green digit. So that's the blue digit, which means this is now a blue digit by Sudoku. These are, well, that's a 4 in the corner, which is a black digit. Whoops. That's a 2, which was a red digit. That's a red digit. That 4 sees that by knight's move, so that's 1, that's 4. 4 is the black digit, 1 is the grey digit. So this is a 4 by Sudoku. And I think we're getting there slowly but surely, aren't we? Now we need 1, 2 and 5 at the top. That must be resolved. I just can't see why. That digit must be the same as that digit by Sudoku. So these two are the same. That's not 2 by Sudoku. So that's a 1-5 pair. 2 goes in the corner. That's the red digit. And is it going to be something to do with how these unwind? Oh, look, there's a 1 poking there. So this can't be a 1. So that's got to be a 5. That's got to be a 1. That's got to be a 5. That's got to be 1, 1, 5. And now we can unwind this all and just colour it in properly. So if we double click all the 5s and turn those green, double click all the 1s and turn those grey, get rid of the flashing on a couple of colours, and now we can stare and see whether I've made an error or not. I doubt I've made an error with the numbers because it worked so absolutely beautifully. But I might have made an error with my colouring if I've left a flash in somewhere. I didn't mean to, and if I have done that, I really apologise, but let's see if it's right. It is right. 273 people have solved that, actually. So it's quite a popular puzzle. Well, that is no surprise because it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? That Sudoku puzzle is as chromatically powerful as one could possibly wish for. The 4 clues do wonders with the 6 rules, and that's just it's a beautiful piece of fun. Half an hour of joy that gives you. 99% sneaky. Take a bow. Let me know how you got on in the comments. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.